The next point is more focused towards our approach, how we approach a ERP project, especially if it's a project that has got a certain amount of complexities, and it is a rollout over a number of companies, or it's a rollout over a number of geographical areas, depending on the structure of the business. So we like to plan our implementations in phases. Phase one being your basic standard as is phase. Phase two will be building on what we have already done in phase one. So there we start adding more features, maybe some of the nice to have features or not so critical features, or we will there start including features that are new to the business, and we first need to get the staff comfortable and knowledgeable on the basic functionality of the system in phase one. And then in phase two, we will start adding more complex or maybe more involved processes that is required in order to let the new system come to its full. So we find that doing it in phases gives us the opportunity to understand the business better in phase one. So we try and understand and work with the client and work in the business with the client for the first phase. Therefore, we can understand better what their needs are. And then in phase two, we can tailor-make the system to support those needs of the client better, because we understand the client's requirements and the client's business better. And that helps us to have a better implementation experience from a client perspective and from the implementation team's perspective, because it's really difficult to plan for something that you don't 100% understand. And it does happen that the client will explain to you how their business works to the best of their ability and to the best of their knowledge. But invariably, there are usually the small little things that are being overlooked because it's taken for granted, but it sometimes have a massive impact on what you are building and what you are putting together. So much so that we almost have to go back to the starting point and start from fresh to redesign and develop the system for them. Also, from a budgetary point of view, it's better for the client to roll out modules. If it's a modular system that we implement, roll out the modules in phases. So the financial impact on the business is not so huge. So we can go live phase one with the core modules, as we call it. So that is your standard general ledger, debtors, creditors, and inventory. And then in phase two, we might add, let's say, for instance, workflow, or we might add project management or project accounting rather, and other specific modules like manufacturing that they've got a requirement for. Obviously, it also goes without saying that if there are certain things that are your non-negotiables, those are, we have to have it in phase one, then we will go live with that, even if it is complex. It is just then something that we need to plan for properly, and we need to make sure that we understand it 100%. So you have to make sure that you can at least comply with the minimum requirements. We call it the minimum viable product. That is the minimum that we need to go live with in order for the business to succeed and the implementation to be successful.